to Coffee with Kenan in me golden, in me old. 11 seconds in and still haven't gotten someone. I'm waiting for someone to get into the chat really, really quickly. How's everyone doing? And actually, 2 days before Thanksgiving, before we all get to let our head down and relax and enjoy the Thanksgiving holidays. Uh, where's all me chatters? Slow today, 32 seconds in, 33. Oh my God, what's going on here? I see one person giving a thumbs up. There we go, Angela Eng. She's the first one in. Kathy Bates, Polka Dot Suzanne. Hi guys, how's everyone doing? The weather is definitely feeling almost. Hugo Stiglitz, how are you, buddy? Margaret Day, hello. Lorna McKenzie, hello. It's starting to feel that chill of winter time, that real chill where you're like, winter is just around the corner. Well, winter's actually here almost, right? It's sort of incredible, right? So today's the 23rd, right, of November? 23rd of November, and the 24th will be Wednesday, and the Thanksgiving falls this day on Thursday, the 25th. And then before you know it, we're into December, and the year is ba-boom. The year of 2021 is a good or a bad memory, whatever your point of view. Lee Perry, San Diego here. San Diego, one of the most beautiful places, best weather probably in the world, right? Lee Perry, best in the world. So yeah, I was doing a bunch of errands this morning, and just running around and picking up this and picking up that, like everyone else is doing. Don't go to the supermarket today. Joanne Blasich, are you still down in Florida? Marco Island with all those guys showing up uninvited? Very funny. Some of my friends were down on Marco Island, and they were in a karaoke bar, and they're there drinking beer or whatever they're drinking. And another guy, a retired detective, walks in, and it's like a reunion. They had no idea. Talk about a small world. He just walks in, and it's like so happy to see all those guys. Isn't it amazing? Like you don't expect anything. Kathy Bates, you went to the supermarket. Is a zoo, man. There's more accidents in the aisles hitting carts than there are in the parking lot. I was just there. It was crazy, David Kahn, 70 and sunny in Naples, watching by the pool. That's so great, man. Naples, gorgeous. I love Naples. It's a little bit expensive. Probably a lot bit, right, David? It's very expensive. So, but probably a good place to retire. Deborah Barron, Lee Perry loves Sunset Cliffs. So, how's everyone doing? Everyone looking forward to Thanksgiving? Is everyone eating turkey, getting that big bird ready? Alicia B., I ordered groceries for pickup yesterday and avoided the Thanksgiving rush. That's probably really smart, Mickey V., it's so cold here in Sweden. Sweden, oh my God. Sundag, Mondag, Tisdag, Onsdag, Torsdag, Fredag. One time I learned the days of the week when there was some Swedish girls used to hang out. It was back in the day when I was a bartender, and they taught me how to say the days of the week. That's about the extent of my Swedish. And of course, 46 in Florida. Andy the Gappy Cabby, how are you, buddy? Good to see you. Amazing, Andy, you hit 20,000. Congratulations. Andy the Gappy Cabby hit 20,000 subscribers. And Angie Ang and Joe Murray have hit 1,000. That's the first milestone, 1,000. You hit 1,000, and then great things start to happen after that. Then your next milestone is 3,000. And once you get over 3,000, you can do what I'm doing right now, go live on the phone. But believe it or not, if you don't hit 3,000, you can't do this, at least on YouTube. You can't go live. Yes, Andy, it's great for Joe and Angie to, I got to call them up and I have to give them some tips, a couple of tips of how to use StreamYard. We got a good show coming up tonight, very good show. At 9 p.m., myself and Phil Grimaldi and Michael Vecchione, a retired superstar prosecutor from the Brooklyn DA's office, was a prosecutor for 30 years, one of the best. we're going to comment on the Kyle Rittenhouse case. And did you guys watch the Tucker Carlson interview last night on Kyle Rittenhouse with Kyle Rittenhouse as the guest? I thought it was a little too soon for him to be a guest on a major TV show, but I watched it. I thought it was interesting. I thought he came across pretty well. Uh, Kathy Bates said she was almost crying. It was amazing. Yeah, I think he represented himself very well. The more you watch it, and then you watch the videotapes of what occurred, and again, thank God that these incidents were caught on videotape, or he wouldn't have had a prayer, because the lying, disgusting mainstream media, who are still lying, even though they got caught, you would have never gotten the truth out. But for the video that caught these incidents, and amazing. Yeah, polite young man. He was 17 when this occurred. He's 18 now. He wants to be a nurse. He wants to go to Arizona State University and become a nurse, to help people. A great kid, He may never have to become a nurse, though. He may be so wealthy from suing CNN, MSNBC, Joe Biden, and some of these other pundits that he may never have to work again, Just like that kid from that Catholic school that was destroyed by the media. He was awarded $250 million in damages. I don't know if he'll receive that, if he'll ever see that, but K. Mitch, only saw a clip. I don't have TV. Well, you should watch that video, especially if you're going to follow us. Malicious prosecution. Covington Catholic, that's right. The media destroyed them. And they thought they destroyed them, and it turned out the media destroyed themselves. I want to see CNN and MSNBC just self-implode and just be wiped off the face of the mainstream media, because they're liars. They don't do a good job. Their ratings are pathetic. I don't know if you saw the other night, Chris Cuomo interviewed Kyle Rittenhouse's attorney. The interview with Kyle Rittenhouse by Tucker Carlson, it was an hour, but it was really, when you do the commercials and you cut back, it's probably really 40 minutes. But it was a very well done interview. And I thought Kyle Rittenhouse spoke very well for himself. A shame that that tragedy in Waukesha, Wisconsin, where that perp, really, to not call him anything else, that bail reform perp, went out and got in an SUV and ran over, killed 5 people, and there's, I think, 30 or more injured, including 7 critical. That's all to do, and talk policing, you're talking politics, because it is politics. Why was this career criminal, why was he out on bail? For running over his baby's mama, running her over with the same truck he used to run these people over. Disgusting, right? And we got to get to these woke progressives and let them know that that's not okay. Bail reform in New York City and New York State, pathetic. A child of Andrew Cuomo. You see where Andrew Cuomo is now. He's no longer governor. We got to get rid of these crazy nuts that push these policies. New York City is heading for even worse. I'm telling you that right now. De Blasio, the era of de Blasio is over, but the era of Eric Adams is beginning. He's no friend of the police, even though he was a cop. I'm telling you that right now. He was an activist as a cop, and he's going to become he's a wolf in sheep's clothing. He's pretending to be supportive of the police, but he never was. He never really was the police himself. And then we have this new DA, Bragg. Another guy wants to open up the jail cells and let everyone out. Bail reform and not prosecute people. You see what's happening in California. People huge pockets of people are showing up to high-end stores in vehicles and just going in mass and just stealing whatever they want. And that has to do with the California DA, who will not prosecute anything under $995. So outrageous. So you see what's happening. These high-end stores, what's going to happen to these high-end stores? They're just going to move out of San Francisco. People are starting, they're starting to vote with their feet. What does that mean? That means they're going to move out of these woke neighborhoods that have these progressive laws, and they're just going to move to a state that does not have these progressive laws. And so that's sort of like voting with your feet. you know. And folks, happy 2 days before Thanksgiving. Coffee with Cannon. And guys, it's coming to be holiday time. So if you want to own one of these mugs, go up on our site, policeoffthecuff.com. Tax cut, yeah, San Francisco is becoming what New York was in the 70s. I think San Francisco isn't becoming, it's there. It's there. Homeless people living all over the place. That's not okay. Tents all over the place, disease, fecal matter, urine. It's already there. It is New York in the 70s. Worse, probably. 80 thugs and 25 cars thrashed and destroyed these stores. That's what the woke politicians want, you know? Amazing. It's like CNN when they're saying there's mostly peaceful protest, and behind them is a conflagration of fire all over the place, you know, and they're saying it's mostly peaceful as the neighborhood burns behind them, you know. Tomas Holo, rampant drug use and robberies. Outrageous, right? Outrageous. And we, as the citizenry, are supposed to put up with this nonsense, right? You know? We're supposed to put up with this nonsense. Lieutenant Pete, good to see you. Who's cooking tomorrow? Well, Wednesday you got to prep. Who's the big cook at the Pranzo house? Is it Lieutenant Pete, or is it Richella, or are you guys a team? You guys a tag team, I would imagine. You do everything else in tandem. Why not cook in tandem, right? Cheers, folks. The DA says sometimes you got to take a beating. That's outrageous. That's outrageous, you know, and that's the whole theory behind, in LA, there's been like carjackings and home invasions, and the left is saying, oh, you just have to just give into it. No. That's what AR-15s are made for, and 9mm, and being armed, and the Second Amendment, to defend your home, your life, your property, and your loved ones. Not giving in to thugs like you progressive politicians recommend, who, by the way, are all protected by security. So this won't happen to you because you have armed security, the same arms that you rail against for everyone else, you know? Chick Eastwater, hello. If you defend yourself, they arrest you. They can arrest you, but they can't put you away because justification is in every penal law in every state in this nation. And Kyle Rittenhouse just showed how that works. Justification. He defended himself, life or death. And even Chris the Dope Cuomo said, oh, he would have just maybe taken a beating. I'd like to see him take a beating and, you know, outrageous, you know, but just take maybe a beating. Like the people that were beaten to death during last summer's riots. Like those people. I don't know if you guys know, but more people are killed with hands and feet than any other weapon there is. That happens to be a fact, you know. And then you get these mainstream media. He should be off the air too. He's a joke, and he should go apply for a job at MSNBC. Just really, really pathetic people. Angela Ang, no doubt they would have killed him. How about the guy that kicked him in the head? That the DA didn't give that information to the defense. They didn't give. That's supposed to be discovery. They didn't forward that. They said they didn't find out who he was. That was a lie. Another piece of prosecutorial misconduct, you know? Ridiculous, you know, ridiculous. I want to, you know, get on a better note. It's just that's a horrible thing. When I heard that someone drove through a happy, you know, Thanksgiving holiday parade and killed 5 people and there's like 30 people injured, right away I was thinking terrorist, you know, because usually it takes a while for them to determine if the person was in fact a terrorist. And, you know, just horrendous situation that someone could do that. And the government could have prevented this. Yeah, the politicians could have prevented this, but they're so woke that they believe in bail reform without any addendum that says if the person receiving the bail is a danger to the community, we're going to hold them in and not issue bail. Yeah, some are very angry over the Rittenhouse. They should get a life, these people, because what they should be angry over is this guy in Wisconsin that just ran over 5 people. That's murder, not even justification. They should be mad at him. 48 people injured. Just really heartbreaking to see something like that. Remember that happened in New York, but it was an Islamic terrorist. He ran over like 13 people, and a sergeant was the one who locked him up. You could see him with his knee in the guy's back, getting him cuffed. Beautiful picture. And months later, putting a knee in someone's back would have been a misdemeanor. This is what we're dealing with these psychotic progressives. They're so woke that they're so stupid, you know? I haven't been, because we've been following mostly the Rittenhouse case and not just the Rittenhouse, the Alec Baldwin case, the Summer Wells case. I haven't been following much of the Ahmaud Arbery case. I know what it was. Yeah, and how about the NFL player that beat the shit out of his baby's mama? All on video. Yeah, all on video. Domestic violence. No one seems to be in the mainstream media commenting on that very much, you know? And it's caught on videotape, you know? Amazing. And that guy's scary. You know, that wasn't the first time he did that. Judy Murray, great to see you again. Such a horror tragedy in Wisconsin. 100%, 100%. NX Masanari, I started pinning crimes to a playlist because there's so many that NFL deserves. Yeah, the NFL has a lot of felons. They instead of the National Football League, some people call it the National Felon League, you know. Andy, the Gabby Cabby, your dad said get the job done any way possible, for sure. Susan Murphy, lots of injured children at children's hospitals. Very sad, man. You never, ever want to see a child injured. Just horrendous, you know. So again, tonight we have a good show, 9 p.m. Myself, Phil Grimaldi, and Michael Vecchione, who actually in tandem wrote the book Friends of the Family with Tommy Dades. And great book. It's about the arrest and prosecution of the mafia cops, Ippolito and Caracappa, two of the worst in NYPD history. Yes, you know, look, any parade that gets attacked like that, that's just so disgusting. Defenseless people, and the guy's mowing him down with an SUV. And the guy that did the same crime to his baby's mama and the DA's office paroles him. Disgraceful. Just disgraceful. I wish that, you know, I don't think DAs can be sued, and I don't think judges can be sued. I don't think politicians, unless they're not serving in their official capacity, can be sued. Because I think that, you know, some of the statements they make are just so outrageous and pouring gasoline on the fire of some of these incidents that it's really pretty pathetic, you know, pretty pathetic. So guys, again, little commercial for Police Off the Cuff. If you're not subscribed, which I see a couple people here that I don't recognize. If you're not subscribed, please go on our YouTube, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, give us a thumbs up. Kathy Bates, Factual Breakdown, great to see you guys. You guys see each other in the chat, right? It's so good. It's like a little a friendship here. Chickies, the Macy's Parade Thursday morning. You know, I always used to take my kids when they were young. The night before the Macy's Parade, they blow up the balloons on Central Park West, and unless you live there, they won't let you in close to the balloons. But because I was a police sergeant, I would just tin the cops, and they'd let me go in. And the kids just love watching these gigantic balloons being blown up, and it was so cool. It's one of the nice things that you could do with your kids, and that, you know, being a cop was beneficial. DAs can be sued. The lacrosse team from Long Island sued the DA in Maryland. Oh, you're talking about the Duke lacrosse team. Is that what you're talking about? You know, you're right. Mike, what was his name? Mike DeFong or something like that. You're right. He was sued, but but he actually, maybe he was sued because he actually went to jail for Mike Nifong. He actually went to jail for like malicious prosecution. He hid evidence, exculpatory evidence. You know, if that's discovered in a lot of prosecutions, you talk to a lot of defense attorneys, and that happens quite a lot. Hiding exculpatory information, not giving discovery information in a timely manner. Mike Nifong was disbarred and spent 1 day in jail. Yeah, I think he was sentenced to like 6 months, but he only in fact did 1 day in jail. He was a vicious prosecutor. Factual breakdown, snoozy girl, Rachella Pranzo. Good to see you. So I never got that answer. Who's the main cook in the Pranzo house? Is it Lieutenant Pete or is it Rachella? Who's doing all the cooking tomorrow? Yes, that was the Duke lacrosse team. You're right. You're 100% right. You know what's sort of sad in the Duke lacrosse team thing? Is that the prosecution messed with the wrong kids. All those kids on the Duke lacrosse team were from families with money. So they could hire the best attorneys. They had money and destroyed they destroyed the university. I think Duke University. I think the monetary award was in a non-disclosure agreement, but I'm hearing each one of those lacrosse players that was arrested and kicked out of school got over $10 million from Duke University. If anyone has an inside track and knows that for a fact, let me know. But that's what I had heard that they were issued over $10 million each. But the taste in their mouth, and in actuality, the prostitute that leveled all the allegations, and that's what she was. She was a prostitute. She was hired for like a team party, which was probably bad decision making on the part of these guys. And she made these allegations. She was involved in a murder, and I don't even think she's alive anymore. But she actually was involved in a murder. Yeah. So crazy, crazy, crazy. We're getting back to bail reform. We're seeing a lot of these repeat offenders in New York City, people out of bail. There was one guy who was arrested for a gun 5 times in a year. That is so outrageous. Are you kidding me? How could anyone put up with that? So someone arrested 5 times. And now they're seeing a lot of these, what's called these ghost guns. These are guns that are made without serial numbers. So almost impossible to track. Riccelli, he does not cook and clean, Lieutenant Pete. He makes the property look nice. Okay, well, he's doing something, right? Cavey, she's in prison. She stabbed her boyfriend to death. Okay, the Duke lacrosse woman who leveled those allegations, she stabbed her boyfriend to death. So that's the one they were fighting. That was the cause celeb, 3D cabin fever, 3D printed guns are just around the corner. You're 100% right. How easy can it be for people to get guns, Yeah, just crazy, crazy, crazy. So let's talk about some good things. Anyone got a good stuffing recipe that they want to put up in the chat? Or is it top secret for your family? And you won't let it out of your family. You won't let any of that information. Bite me, stovetop. No, thanks. Mrs. Cannon is feeling well, but she has to have some additional surgery this Wednesday, which we didn't find out about till just a couple days ago. Not super, not dangerous surgery. But I don't want to go into it because of my wife's privacy. So I don't know if she's going to be feeling okay. We were going to go to a restaurant on Thanksgiving. I don't know if she's going to feel okay to do that. We may just have to stay home and have some turkey and stuffing and sweet potatoes and gravy and stuff at home. But, if she's feeling well enough, we'll still go through with our plans. Angela Eng says she likes stovetop. It's okay. Look, this is all part of life, I always say there's good parts of life and there's some not so good parts, and you have to be able to deal with both of them. And wake up the next day and, live your life, Look at the positive side of things, right? That's why I always tell my wife when she gets upset, when she has a setback, she gets all upset, and I go, look, don't get pre-upset. Don't get upset before anything. Get upset after, It's almost like that, the whole thing worrying. Everyone worries, right? We're all human beings. We worry about things. But isn't worrying sort of a waste of emotion? It really is, right? It's just a waste. But, it's easy for me to say. We're all human beings. Maui Smith, yes, stovetop is edible. But like when all the possibilities of what you could put in stuffing, why would you you can put sausage in it, or you could put mushrooms, chestnuts, right? You could put all of those things, onions, and you can make, I mean, you can make stuffing that just has an unbelievable. Why would you just use stovetop? That's crazy, right? Alicia B, worrying is a waste of emotion. I agree with you. It is, but we all do it, right? We all do it anyway. Thank you so much, you guys. All your well wishes to Mrs. Cannon, your prayers. It's very much appreciated. Um, Deborah Breeden, anyone here have a circuit court judge? Taurus. Cabin fever, stuffed mackerel. I'm not joking, folks. Oh my God. Angela Eng, it's quick. Angie, are you cooking? Or are you guys going out? Angie, you a good cook? Or Joe's probably the cook. Joe Murray's probably. Chestnut stuffing is delicious, but an odd color. Yeah, chestnuts in stuffing are just delicious. Just amazing, you know. I told you guys my favorite thing about Thanksgiving. I'll repeat it in case you don't remember. Thank you, Andy, to Gabby Cabby. Appreciate that, buddy. My favorite thing about Thanksgiving is at night having a white meat, stuffing, cranberry, and mayonnaise sandwich on white bread. That is my favorite thing about. All you Italians, though, you're gonna mix the Thanksgiving gravy with the regular gravy, the sauce. The sauce. I call it sauce. You guys call it gravy. Now, how do you mix up turkey gravy with the red sauce gravy? You know, that's why you got to differentiate between, you know, gravy and bite me, yes, the next AM. So good to see everyone. M. Ray and Dave the dog. Yes, the turkey sandwich. Thanks for saying the pun. Oh, the sandwiches. My favorite also. Rosemary J, best part. That's right, right? Someone was saying by this time next year, we might be at war in our own country. I so hope not. You know, the whole thing about being a democracy is that we can disagree, but if it comes to the point where it gets, you know, when you see rioting and all of that stuff, that's not, factual breakdown doesn't eat mayo. You have to have mayo on that sandwich with turkey. Kathy Bates, just frosted hot cinnamon rolls. Arrakis Mudib, different cultures bring good food. You're right, 100%. 2A is the last resort, loads of other options. Yeah, it's, look, guys, I just want to wish everyone a super, super happy Thanksgiving. You know what's funny? I know the Brits and Irish people, you guys don't say like, we say Merry Christmas, and you Brits say Happy Christmas. I think it's sort of nice, right? It's a little different. Like we used to saying, oh, Merry Christmas. And you Brits say Happy Christmas. I'm getting hungry too. I'm definitely getting hungry. I could eat something right now. But Emery and Dave the dog, I gotta have mayonnaise. Me too, you know. You gotta have mayonnaise on your turkey stuffing cranberry sandwich, you know. And then you know what else you need when you eat that sandwich? Lots and lots of napkins, because you're gonna get it all over your face, all over everything, you know. There's no way. No mayo will just argue what type. Okay. Well, it's got to be Hellman's. There's really no other mayonnaise, right? Lisa Clark, we say Happy Merry Christmas. That's nice. Dip it in butter. There's a new thing with Thanksgiving. Yeah, dip that sandwich in butter. Some of that good Irish butter, right? Probably my favorite side dish for Thanksgiving is stuffing. I think that's my favorite because you never have it really any other time, but Thanksgiving. So that's probably my favorite side dish for Thanksgiving. A little stuffing, you know. So. Oh, you never say, Snoozy Girl never says Happy Holidays. You know what is that became like a politically correct thing? Because, you know, there's Hanukkah, there's Christmas, even though I don't know if it's a real holiday, it's Kwanzaa. So all these woke people don't want to say, you know, Merry Christmas because not everyone celebrates Christmas, you know. You know, my wife is Jewish. We always celebrated Christmas, but not as sort of like a religious holiday, just sort of like, you know, as a tradition for our kids. And I don't think my kids really ever celebrated Hanukkah. They'll take double dipping. Don't get me wrong. They'll take presents. They'll take presents, and if they think it's for Hanukkah, they don't care as long as they get the present, you know. But wow, the chat's moving fast. Cabin fever, laugh out loud. Police off the cuff, dipped in butter mug required. That's right, Lieutenant Pete. You got to have one of these for Thanksgiving around the table. It's a piece of conversation. Brian Enton is reporting. I missed that one. Could you put that through again? Brian Enton from Newsmax, excuse me, not Newsmax, News Nation, is reporting that Brian Laundrie was what? That his cause of death was found out to be what? Could you put that back in the chat because I missed it? I thought I saw it was a gunshot wound, but I don't want to spread rumors if that's not true. Gunshot to the head, homicide. Now, how could they prove it's a homicide? They can't possibly prove it's a homicide because if just his skull was left, there's no way. Yeah, maybe Cabin Fever said Brian Enton is reporting that he died from a gunshot wound. That's very, very possible. But yeah, you can't say homicide. Potentially, it'd be a hard thing to prove even suicide. I don't think they ever recovered. I don't think they ever recovered a firearm on the scene. So very difficult. But it's a new breaking thing in that story. Yeah, Maui Swift, you're right. If the gun's not there, tough to say it's a suicide. Very tough, right? Because the gun should be very close by if it in fact was a suicide, right? Okay, it's so the manner of death has been ruled a homicide. How could they rule it? How could they rule that? I don't know. That's very. I don't see how they could do that. I'm gonna have to listen to what Brian Enton says. Physically, if there's nothing left there, there's no skin, there's no gunshot residue, there's none. How do they say that it was a homicide or a suicide? And no gun recovered. Lisa Clark saying it's just got a news alert, self-inflicted gunshot wound. That's, if they've determined that, that's a pretty amazing determination based on what was allegedly left on the scene. M. Ray and Dave the dog, self-inflicted. Well, yep. It's very difficult to prove this. All right, no one said it was a homicide, a potential suicide, but usually with a suicide, the weapon's on the scene. And unless there's something we don't know, I don't know that they, in fact, ever recovered that gun. So it's a little bit crazy. JB is saying Bertolino said it was a homicide. I don't know. How does Bertolino know that? You know, I don't know. I'll have to bone up on this stuff once I get off the air with you guys. I think that Chris Laundrie came back for the gun. I don't know. I'd find that hard to believe that the parents say, "Okay, go kill yourself. I'll go get the gun." Rosemary J. Suicide note potentially in that notebook that was recovered. Guys, cheers. Coffee with Cannon. I just want you guys to have a wonderful Thanksgiving and have a great time with friends, with family, with loved ones. Enjoy the food. Don't eat too much, although I know you will, because so will I. But yeah, especially out here, the temperature has definitely dropped out here. You know, CRP, cheer. Thank you so much. Factual breakdown. Kimberly Myers, cheers. Sergeant Cannon, cheers to you, Kimberly. Marie Green, self-inflicted. Yeah, I need a turkey sandwich like right now too. Linda Cosma, always love this. Great. Lisa Clark, Andy the Cabby. Happy Thanksgiving from Ireland. Yes, yes. And I put up there was a picture that reoccurred on Facebook, and I saw it, and it was me standing inside this amazing room in the Prestonfield House in Scotland, in Edinburgh, and it was amazing. What a memorable Thanksgiving that was. They had no turkey, So I think we had prime rib or some amazing meat, but it was a very memorable Thanksgiving. And it was myself, my wife, and my two sons. And we had, because my son was studying for his master's at the time in Edinburgh. And I actually did a comedy show there. That was when I was still doing stand-up. I did a comedy show there, and some people that I knew from the U.S. came to see me. So it's a small world, you know. So guys, I'm gonna cut this short right now. Not even short. We're over 35 minutes. Again, I want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. And Harley Chick, good to see you. Cabin Fever, best community ever. That's for sure, guys. Happy Thanksgiving and stay safe, everyone.